So here's something I see all the time. A coach is posting consistently, the reels are getting views, the followers are growing, people are commenting, sharing, saving the content. And on paper, everything looks like it's working. But the bank account tells us a completely different story. Inquiries are inconsistent, sales calls are sporadic, and revenue feels completely random. Spikes one month, goes quiet the next. And the coach has no idea why, because the content is clearly connecting with people. People are paying attention. So, what is it that's the problem? The problem is that attention and revenue are two completely different things. And most coaches, creators, consultants, they never build the bridge between the two. And that's what this video is about. Now, let me be real with you for a second. The online space has convinced a lot of people that attention equals business. That if you grow your audience, get more followers, get more views, the money will most definitely follow. And I get why that belief exists. Because for a very small number of people, we're talking like the top 1% of creators, attention does eventually become revenue. The audience gets big enough, sponsorships come in, a product does numbers just off of volume alone. But here's what no one talks about. For the other 99%, attention without a system is just vanity. You could have 50,000 followers and be making less than someone with 2,000 who has a better acquisition path dialed in. Now, followers don't necessarily pay your bills, clients pay your bills. And clients don't come from attention alone, they come from a deliberate path that takes someone from first seeing you to trusting you to raising their hand and saying, I want to work with you. That path is what most people are missing. And the frustrating thing is, nobody tells you this when you're out there grinding on content. You're optimizing for views, reach, for shares. The algorithm rewards that. Your ego rewards that. But your revenue doesn't move. So let me break this down, what the actual path from attention to revenue looks like. Because once you see this, it's kind of hard to unsee it. There's 6 different stages, and most coaches are only operating in the first one. Now, stage 1 is attention. Content, reels, YouTube, TikTok, podcasts, whatever your vehicle is. This is where someone first discovers that you exist. And yes, this matters. You need to be discoverable, obviously, right? But this is just the entrance into the building. It's not the actual building. Now, stage 2 is trust. This is where most people actually fall off and they don't even realize it. When someone finds your content and it resonates, what happens next? They go check your profile, they look at your bio, they scroll your feed, and they might click your link. And in that 30 to 60-second window, they're making a judgment. Is this person credible enough to take seriously? If your profile is unclear, your bio is vague, your content is all over the place, they completely bounce. Not because your content was bad, but because the trust signals were not there. Now, stage 3 is the offer. This is probably the most underestimated stage. Even if someone trusts you, they need to clearly understand what you're actually selling to them and why it is for them. A vague offer kills conversion silently. People don't tell you, I didn't buy because your offer was confusing. They just simply disappear. Stage 4 is the application. And this is where it gets interesting because most people actually skip this entirely. Instead of filtering their leads, they leave a Calendly link and say, book a call. And what happens? You get tire kickers, people who aren't serious, people who waste your time on calls that go nowhere. An application changes the dynamic completely. It pre-frames the buyer. It makes them invest in something, even just 5 minutes filling out a form before they get on a call with you. And that one shift can completely change the quality of your conversations. Now, stage 5 is follow up. Most revenue that should close doesn't. Not because the person wasn't interested, but because life happened. They got distracted. They needed a nudge, and nobody nudged them. A proper follow up sequence is not spam. It's a system that keeps you in front of warm prospects until they're ready to move. This alone recovers a massive amount of revenue that would have otherwise just evaporated. And stage 6 is the sales conversation. By the time someone gets on a call with you, if you've done the first 5 stages right, the call should feel easy. They're already pre sold. You're not convincing them from scratch. You're confirming what they've already decided. Now, the sales call is the result of the system, not the solution to a broken one. So then, why do most coaches only have stage 1? Why is it just content and then hope? Honestly, a few reasons. First, content creation is visible and rewarding. You post a reel, you get views, you get comments, you get that dopamine hit. Building a funnel, writing an application form, setting up a follow up sequence, nobody claps at that. No one claps for that. It's invisible work. So most people just don't do it. Second, the online creator economy rewards attention metrics, views, followers, engagement, and all of those things feel like progress, even when revenue isn't moving at all. A third, and this is the one most people won't actually admit, building the system is harder than posting content. We got to be honest. Content is creative. Systems require you to think like an operator. And a lot of coaches didn't sign up to be an operator. They signed up to share their knowledge and get paid for it. But here's the reality: the coaches who are actually building consistent revenue, not the ones with the biggest audiences, but the ones with the most predictable income, they've built the path, all 6 stages. They know exactly how a stranger becomes a follower, becomes a lead, becomes a client. And the wild part, most of them don't have massive audiences. They just have a system that converts the attention they do have. Now, when you have a real acquisition path, a few things change like almost immediately. Revenue becomes more predictable. Instead of waiting for a big launch or hoping for someone to randomly DM you, you know that X number of people entering your funnel turns into Y number of sales calls, which turns into Z number of clients per month. You can actually forecast, you can actually plan. Your content starts doing the work for you and doing even more work because now every piece of content isn't just for views, it's the entry point of an actual system. Someone watches your reel, clicks your profile, reads your bio, clicks your link, fills out your application. That's the journey. And you designed it. And your sales calls get much easier because by the time someone's on the phone with you, they've already been pre qualified, pre educated, and pre sold on you. You're not starting from scratch. The attention you're already gathering, it's not the problem. The gap between the attention and revenue, that's the actual problem. And that gap has a name. It's called a system, an acquisition system. So if you're a coach or creator watching this and you're thinking, okay, I get it. I need to build this path. The next video I'm dropping breaks down exactly what a full acquisition system looks like from scratch, what each stage needs, what tools you actually need, and what order to build it in. Go ahead and subscribe if you already haven't, because that one's coming soon. And if you're at the point where you don't want to figure this out yourself, you've got an offer, you've got an audience, you just need someone to build the system for you, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and DM me the word apply on Instagram, and we can talk about whether it makes sense to work together. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one.